And it's been a while since we've been here on camera at Retro Core, and we're going to take a look at something a little bit different today. We're going to take a look at this. This is the Pandora Box 3. Now, what is a Pandora's Box 3? Well, actually, it's pretty much a mini computer. I think it's Linux based, and inside here is 540 arcade games. Now, this is actually a bit of a special one because usually they only come with 520 games. No idea why this got 540. So we're going to take a look at this. Now, there's been some polarizing reviews on the internet. Some people say these are absolutely excellent. Some people say they're a load of crap, and you might as well just make yourself, a bit of a MAME computer and connect that to your TV. Well, while a MAME computer connected to the TV probably could do a lot more than this, this is also well worth the money considering it costs a fraction of the price. And on the plus side, you can run this at 15 kilohertz. Yeah. So you're getting a proper arcade image, if you've got a Supergun, that is. Okay, so let's first take a look at the box it came in, which is pretty interesting. So here we have the box that the Pandora came in. And as you can see, it says absolutely nothing on it about it being an arcade PCB. So at the top it says professionally designed reliable quality. Yeah, professionally designed reliable quality what? Well, apparently a digital media product. Ethernet media converter. Yeah, I bet you it is. And I love these icons down at the bottom here. Look at that. Worldwide to analog and digital device. Great and low power design. Well, it only uses 5 volts, so yeah, I guess so. Well, production for ESD and Surge. Well, okay, whatever you say. Solutions and support and service? I think not. There's no support or service, probably. And first class user experience. Well, that's arguably depends on your point of view. The side of the box is pretty much the same thing. It just says digital media converter. And on the back we've got more stuff on here, which is absolutely hilarious. Professional design, reliable quality, flexible configuration. Well, I guess so, but yeah, it's a bit on the weird side. And on the back of the box is just this little warning. Inside the box you get the actual cartridge and this little instruction booklet. Okay, now the instruction booklet is actually in English, as you can see. First they give you a diagram to wire up the JAMA PCB connection for your Supergun, which is all very good and handy. And then we have some information on how to actually use the settings on the actual Pandora's box. The English isn't too bad. I mean, I've seen worse. It's readable and understandable. Okay, now this feature doesn't actually seem to work. This is the bookkeeping. Okay, so let's connect the Pandora box up to the Supergun. Okay, so first of all, let's take a look at the actual Pandora Box 3 itself. So at the front we have the JAMA connector here, and around the side we have a service button, the volume control, and the VGA out. But we're not going to use the VGA out because I'm going to use my Supergun, which has, yep, that's right, a proper RGB out on it. So we're going to get the same image with what you would get with a real arcade machine, not that clinical PC look. Now this is the actual Supergun I'll be using. Yep, now it does look like a normal ITX PC case, and that's because it is an ITX PC case. Okay, and inside you can just about see you have 2 little buttons there. They are the service and the test buttons. Actually, that's where the optical disk drive should be, but it's actually got nothing in it except the actual Supergun, which you can see what it did look like before I put it in this case in the picture in the top corner of the screen right now. And also controlling the Supergun, we're going to be using this modified PlayStation 2 controller. Now, Those of you who know about this controller will know that the Virtual Fighter controller for the PlayStation doesn't normally have 6 buttons on it. No, it only usually has a few here. That's because this one is completely modified to work with a Supergun, and all the buttons have been changed for 100% arcade Sanwa parts. These buttons don't actually function anymore. And around the back you can see that it has a custom input connector which connects it to the Supergun, and a couple of holes here which were because it's got a built-in speaker and the sound did come through the joystick. I didn't like that, so I rewired the sound to the actual SCART cable, to the RGB cable, and now the sound comes through the TV. Unfortunately, because it's a Supergun, the sound is in mono because the JAMA connector only provides mono audio. I guess it would be possible to connect the audio pins directly to the PCB on here to get stereo, but it looks pretty fiddly to me. Okay, so what we're going to do is connect the old Pandora's Box 3 up to the Supergun by connecting it here to the JAMA harness. This is wired for 6-button connection, by the way. So as you can see, we've got the XRGB, the FrameMeister, connected to the TV with the Supergun going into that. And what that gives us is a pure arcade image, as you can see right here. So let's just zoom out a little bit, and there we go. There we have the Pandora's Box 3 on the actual TV. Now, what happens is when you press the service button on the actual console, you can get the test screen up. Here we go. Well, you get some classical music in the background as well. So you've got the I/O test, which basically just tells you if your stick is working right. This one seems to be wired up a little bit weird because the F button is always switched on. So we can get out of that by pressing start and A. You can change the system settings for how many coins give you how many credits. So 3 coins give you 1 credit, 1 coin gives you 2 credits. Okay, and so on. There's no free play option, which is a bit of a shame. Just turn down that audio. Okay. You can exit the game by going straight to the menu screen or coming up with a little menu in the corner, which I find very fiddly, so I go straight to the main menu screen, back to the game select screen I should say. You can leave games running on an auto looping demo, it lasts for 3 minutes, or you can just switch it off and the game will just run on a demo forever. You can select the game anytime or only when you've got a coin inserted into the machine, or credited as it says in this case. Game configuration lets you configure the settings for any game on the actual cartridge. As you can see here, we can change the amount of lives in King of Fighters 02. Sorry, not amount of lives, the difficulty. This game doesn't allow you to change lives because it doesn't have any lives. Okay, and you'll also notice you can edit the game's list, as it says there on the B section. Now that allows you to hide games from the list. Now there are a lot of Chinese bootlegs on here which are pretty much not worth having. Officially it's got 540 games. As you can see, actually it says 530 because I've actually hidden some of them. Oh, there we go, 540, here we go. But as I said, a lot of them are just bootlegs or copies of games which are already on here. So you can hide some of them from the main list. As you can see here, these have been hidden. So they don't actually show up when you're browsing through the games, which makes it a lot easier to find the game you want to play. Okay, so let's see. Oops, let's get out of that. Okay, bookkeeping, that tells you, as you can see, how many coins have been put into the machine, and various other things. Now the please enter password doesn't seem to work. The default password is a load of 5s, but for some reason that doesn't work on this. Okay, let's save and reboot. Oh, you press A. Okay, so I'm going to actually connect the Supergun up to the capture card on the PC, so you can actually see what this looks like with a proper image. And unfortunately, because this video is going to be on YouTube, I'm going to have to turn the scan lines off because YouTube doesn't seem to render scan lines very well. Okay, so let's connect it up to the actual PC's capture card. Okay, so the first thing we got to do is get rid of those scan lines. Yeah, personally I prefer the old scan lines, but as I said, it doesn't really come out too well when you put videos up on YouTube. So scan lines, off you go. Okay, so first let's take a look at some Neo Geo games.
Now, some people will say every game on this compilation runs perfectly fine. That is not true. Some games do not run fine. So we're going to take a look at the Neo Geo game here. Yeah, let's go for King of Fighters 99. No, 98, because I like that one better. So as you can see, the games load up pretty fast. I do apologize for the picture quality. My capture card doesn't seem to like the video output, which is given off by the Supergun. Hence the weird looking colors and the shimmering effect. Okay, so let's start up the game. Okay, how to play? Yeah, we know how to play King of Fighters. Okay, let's go normal. Where's my... Can't find Mai's gone now. Never mind, we'll just go. Oh, Mai was on the next row down. Okay, now, as you can see, Neo Geo games seem to be running quite fine. In fact, the emulation for Neo Geo is really good. Okay, yeah, the controls work really well. As you're gonna hear, oops, the joystick is also working very nicely. There we go. Okay, so there you go, King of Fighters runs perfectly fine. Press start and select, go back to the main menu, and we'll pick another Neo Geo game. Let's see, let's try Metal Slug, good old Metal Slug. See how that runs. Now the problem is with the actual Pandora's box is when you first start the game, you actually have to put a coin in. And because most arcade games, when you put a coin in, go straight to the title screen, you don't actually get to see the introduction. So the only way to see the introduction is actually go into the game, die, and then just let the game loop and go straight into the intro from the game over screen. Which is a bit of a pain in the backside if you like to see the introductions to games, like I do. Okay, so here we go with Metal Slug. And as you can see straight away, it's pretty much as you'd expect, apart from the funky colors, but as I said, that's because my capture card is not enjoying the video quality coming from the Supergun. Looks perfectly fine on the TV, mind you. Okay, yeah, so Metal Slug works perfectly. Okay, now, so yeah, as I said, Neo Geo games generally work perfectly fine. Let's look at some Capcom CPS or CP2 system games. We're going to go for Street Fighter 02 because that's the one I like the most. And the games load up pretty quickly. Here we go. As you can see, it's already got one credit in it. We can't watch the introduction. Bit of a bummer that. But the intro does work perfectly fine. Okay, now we'll just go to you. There we go.
Round one, fight!
So yeah, as you can see, CP2 games also work perfectly fine. In fact, I've tried all the CP2 games on this compilation and every single one of them works without a problem. Okay, and there are quite a lot of games on there. Okay, but what about CP3 games or CPS3 games? Well, Street Fighter 03 is one of those. Let's start that one up.
Street Fighter 03. Street Fighter 03. Select your character. Select your fighting style. Namaste. It all depends on your skill. Go for broke.
Okay, so as you can see, it seems to run pretty much okay. But the truth be told, there is a slight lag in there. It's not too bad on this game. I mean, the game is definitely playable, as you can see, and sounds pretty much okay. But yeah, there's a tiny amount of lag. So the ultimate purists out there may not be too happy, but yeah, I mean, for the average gamer, or for even a gamer who likes to play fighting games, will be very happy with the quality of this. But not all games running on the CP3 board run just as good. Let's take a look at Marvel versus Street Fighter. Okay, this one seems to have a few little problems.
Welcome to the adventure!
Marvel superheroes versus three.
Ready, fight!
Actually, no, this one seems to be running fine. It's tiny bit slower. I mean, it's hardly noticeable. It's like Street Fighter 03 or Street Fighter Alpha 3. Yeah, it seems to be working okay. Okay, now there was another game on here which did run on the CP3 board, and it was a little bit slower. Okay, maybe it was this one, Street Fighter 3 Third Strike.
Welcome to the world of Street Fighter 3. Prepare for battle. Yeah, I've been waiting. Well, I got you. Yeah, I've been waiting for this. Fighters ready. Engage.
Yeah, straight away I can see that there is a bit of lag in here. Yeah, it's not as fast as it should be. I mean, it is playable and the controls do seem to be responsive, but the speed is slightly slower than it should be. Yeah, you can see there when Ryu did his hurricane kick, there was quite a bit of slowdown in there. But you know, it's still playable. So yeah, so far Neo Geo, Capcom CP2 games and CP3 games to a point seem to work perfectly fine. Of course, Capcom CP1 games all work absolutely perfectly, flawless. So let's move on to something which isn't Capcom related. As you can see, there's a lot of Capcom stuff in here. Let's see. Actually, Mega Man Arcade. I never even knew about these, so Pandora's Box did introduce me to the Mega Man Arcade games. Okay, Fighting Swords, Salmation 03, maybe it's a US version, who knows. They're all Neo Geo, we know Neo Geo works. Let's see, Gumbird 2, okay. So we're going on to some Psycho arcade boards now. Let's see how these run. Hopefully they should run perfectly fine. Adjust the monitor, no. Oh yes. Now here we go with the problem of the Pandora's Box. As you can see, the image is extremely narrow. Now that's why we have the Frame Meister, because with the Frame Meister we can fix that by adjusting the actual size of the screen. And with the latest firmware you can actually save those settings, which I have here. Oops, and the scan lines have come back on. I forgot about that. Let's switch the scan lines off. It's on the special for some reason. Okay, here we go. So now we've got a screen which is the correct aspect ratio and more in the center. And as you can see, these games all run perfectly fine. And there are many Psycho arcade games on this collection. As you can see, the screen has now moved over because it's actually set up for tate shooters. Okay, let's take a look at another. Let's take a look at some Konami stuff. Oh no, let's we'll look at some Tour Plan stuff actually. Truck Stunt 2. Since this is a vertical shooter or tate shooter, we'll leave the Frame Meister set up for that. Put some credits in. As you can see, the Tour Plan games also work flawlessly. They work really well. Now there is a big bonus point to playing stuff like this using a Supergun, then just running a MAME emulator, and that's because you're getting the exact picture image which the developers originally designed the game for. You know, you play it with a MAME setup and pretty much you're going to be playing it on a flat screen TV. Well, arguably I'm playing it on a flat screen TV as well, but I have a 15 kHz image rather than a PC's standard 31, is it? And plus the scan lines really do give it that arcade look. Okay, so let's take a look at some other games. Let's take a look at some cave games. This is Dodonpachi. Okay, so of course cave games run on different boards to the likes of Torplan and Psycho shooters. So how do they run on the Pandora's Box 3? Well, we would take a look, but we gotta sit through this warning screen. Thank you, Cave. Okay.
Select your battle fighter. Okay, the countdown begins. 3, 2, 1, go!
And yes, yet again, cave games run flawlessly. Perfect. Okay, so I'm going to take a look at something that's not... Oh, here we go, we've got a Capcom shooter here. But no, well, okay, let's give a wing a try. And while I'm doing it, I will change the Frame Master settings back to full screen. Since Gigawing is a tad shooter, but it uses the full screen. Okay, let's start up Gigawing. Bit of slow down there on the old Pandora. You can tell from the screen flickering. It should be transparent, but it's not. Or either that or that's my capture card going all funky. No, this game actually looks pretty dark. Shouldn't be looking like that. I think that's more to do with the settings at the moment than the actual video capture. Yeah, that's definitely to do with the settings, not the actual game itself. Doesn't look like that when I play it on the TV. Yep, the capture card is certainly not playing ball when it comes to running games from the Frame Master and the Supergun. Okay, but as you can see, it runs pretty much okay. Okay, got Mars Matrix in there as well, see? Okay, so let's move to something a little bit different. More SNK stuff. We got some Power Instinct stuff here. This is Atlas's arcade board. Power Instinct works fine. Power Instinct 2 works fine. Power Instinct 3, the music is all messed up on it, so that's not going to work properly. Okay, so as you can see, there's loads of games. So many games, unbelievable. Let's take a look. These all work perfectly fine as well, by the way. There's loads of really crappy Korean knockoffs as well in here. And loads of obscure shit such as this. Actually, that's pretty good fun. Actually, let's start it up.
Fire! Map of the treasure is in fire.
Here you go. It's just like Cabal, or as I was playing the other day. Oops. As I was playing the other day, Wild Guns on the Super Famicom. Just blow up this old medieval house here. I'm not sure why it's got witches in the background. That's a bit weird. I'm sure you got a bomb somewhere. Maybe not. Okay. So anyway, yeah, what I wanted to show you is some Konami games. Here we go, got Aliens by Konami. Okay, that's pretty good. Seems to run okay actually, it runs pretty much fine. Let's see, so we got Contra on there as well. Suppose you want to see it, so let's start it up. Oh, I forgot this is a vertical screen game, isn't it? So yeah, you'd have to adjust the settings. Actually, this game doesn't run fine. It's slowing down like buggery. Oh well. There we go. Konami. In fact, there's quite a few Konami arcade games that seem to have issues on the Pandora's box. They shouldn't put them on. Yeah, that does not run fine at all. That is terrible. Just show you Aliens. Aliens does actually run okay. Yeah, as you can see, Aliens doesn't have any problems. That works pretty much okay. Okay, but one game which from Konami that I really was looking forward to was oh yeah, by the way, Castlevania's on there. That works fine. Gradius 3 works fine as well. Yeah, anyway, as I was saying, one game from Konami I was really looking forward to was The Simpsons. Now this does work and the speed seems to be okay, but it's got some really bad sound issues. Gotta pick Homer. There are also some graphical glitches in this game, such as when you go to Dreamland, a lot of the background seems to be a bit out of place, like the emulation isn't working too well with the layers. But yeah, I mean it plays full speed and everything, just the sound and every now and then one or two graphical issues. Another one I really wanted to play which doesn't work at all is Sunset Riders. As you can see, it is missing an awful lot of the graphics. Some of the overlays are not working, which seem to be the main sprite overlays. As you can see, there are no sprites on screen whatsoever. Yeah, which makes it extremely difficult to play. There we go. I don't even know where I am, so I don't know if I'm jumping up on the screen or not. Oh well. So yeah, it's impossible to play. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 1 works perfectly fine. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles in Time has some sound issues, a bit like The Simpsons, but apart from that, it plays full speed and everything. Vendetta, X-Men, they all seem to work okay. In the Hunt works fine as well. Okay, so yeah. So as you can see, there are loads of games on the Pandora's box, including weird stuff like Sailor Moon and so on. And while this cartridge should have around about 540 games on it, well not around about, it should have 540 games on it, as I said, some of them are Asian knockoffs, such as Chinese and Korean copies or hacks of certain games. But I'd say once you take away all the games that don't work properly, and take away all the crappy clones and hacked versions, you're going to be left with around about 300 games. Yeah, maybe a little bit more. So, I mean, that's quite a drop from 540 to 300. But saying that, the price of this cartridge is only around about $60. You may be able to get a little bit cheaper than that. And for that sort of money, you're going to be getting the arcade experience, as long as you've got it connected to a Supergun, for a fraction of the price as it would cost to build a main PC. I mean, 300 games is nothing to turn your nose up at. So for value for money, yeah, definitely worth it. Well better than the previous cartridges, such as the Game Elf and so on. They're pretty useless. Certainly the designers of this have upped the game and really improved. Hopefully with the Pandora's Box 4, they might be able to give us a really powerful processor and let us play some 3D games as well. Yeah, a bit of Ridge Racer would go down nicely.